Daddy's truck, Daddy's bottle, open top, open top.
1-0. Deep. Is it deep enough? Coming into this game, we talked about the Oklahoma Sooners and how it was a full lineup effort for their run production. Well, the Tar Heels taking a page out of that book here today.
Driven deep to left. Has her down. Done it again. Yes, he has. And the senior catcher put on a show here in Game 7 in the Baton Rouge Regional. And there it is. The Tigers advance to the 17th Super Regional in program history. Right field and deep.
Infield into 2. One track hooked over short in the center. Fisher scores. Ansley on his heels. And the lead is 5 for the Vols.
This team has been confident going on the road, but at the very least, they get a chance to redo the thing.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Up in my head, I was in first, all back cars.
All right, I guess the Tennessee Volunteers are coming in here this weekend. Wake Forest actually got it to a hot start in that game, and then all of a sudden, Tennessee took over and ended up getting it done. 11-5, the victory for the Tennessee Volunteers as they will play the Arkansas Razorbacks this weekend. LSU survives against Little Rock. Thought Little Rock was going to take it, so we welcome in Tommy Kraft, who's somewhere in the New England area this morning. He was at the Red Sox game at Fenway last night. Tommy, well, where are we this morning?
Port Maine. We have stopped here for the morning rush, and exciting games last night. We'll talk later about going to my experience at Fenway, but just watching SEC baseball, you're right. Tennessee fell behind early in that game, only to come back and win. Not what I would call not in nail-biting fashion. I got back to the room after the Sox game last night to watch LSU have to fight tooth and nail to beat Little Rock, and that was an exciting finish. And Ole Miss got it handed to them. So. Mixed reviews last night around the SEC, which, if I've counted and done my math right, there's 4 left and only 1 guaranteed spot in the College World Series.
She had 13 teams from this conference that made the NCAA tournament. And yes, you double-checked it. I double-checked it. Colton double-checked it. Only 4 teams remain. LSU, Auburn, Arkansas, and Tennessee. You have a guarantee 1 team from the Southeastern Conference from this Fayetteville Super Regional that will obviously move on to Omaha, but there's no guarantees outside of this. Okay, this is not added pressure or anything, but if you're going to win a national championship in your Arkansas, my goodness, this is the year. Like the likelihood of more SEC teams, like you would only have a maximum of 2 that would go to Omaha outside of you. And I know I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Coastal and Arizona and North Carolina, these other teams are chopped liver, but this is the field itself with the lack of SEC teams, including the top 2 seeds that have been eliminated. I mean, this is an opportunity, whether it's Tennessee, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU. I mean, you've got to be, if you're one of those coaches, if you're Johnson, if you're, I think it's Butch something for Auburn, if you're Tony Vitello, like that, you've got to be obviously pleasantly surprised, but excited about the possibility of moving forward and getting to Omaha with less competition than maybe you initially anticipated.
Yeah, but let's get through this weekend of Super Regionals and then look at where you're at national seeds. Seeds 3, 4, 5, and 6 are still in the bracket. I don't know if the committee missed on seeding this field. But Texas and Vanderbilt appeared to be 2 of the top teams. But let's not pretend, even though the SEC is eliminated, you've still got a very good North Carolina team who defeated OU. There's other good teams that are on this bracket that are very, very much in the picture for the national championship, including Tennessee, who, unless you can win 2 against Tennessee, you're not going to have to worry about the College World Series. So I know it's, you feel like there's some breaks and maybe things are breaking your way, but you got to survive this weekend first. And it's not going to be an easy weekend against Tennessee by any stretch.
Yeah, well, we do have the super regional times for this weekend. The Arkansas Razorbacks will take on the Tennessee Volunteers at 4 o'clock this Saturday. So it's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. They labeled it, though,
That you're playing in Eugene.
the Eugene Super Regional. So someone at the NCAA social messed that up. But 4 o'clock on ESPN this Saturday. On Sunday, the game's at 2 o'clock. And then Monday right now is to be determined. So again, Saturday at 4 on ESPN. Nice to have it on ESPN. And then Sunday, it will be at 2 o'clock on ESPN. That is the setup for the first two games of this Fayetteville Super Regional.
All right, so you said yesterday you really hoped it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday's better for the fans. I'm of the mindset if there is a game 3, and I think there's probably a better than 50% chance there will be with Liam Doyle going in, I would assume, game 1.
I wouldn't assume that. He pitched
well,
last
maybe
night.
not. Maybe not. But here's my point. I don't care if they play the game Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I think Baum Walker is going to be filled up. We watched good crowds, not full capacity at Alex Box last night. We watched others around the country in a regional final. I know that Baum Walker will show up and show out. These fans will show up even on a Monday for an evening game. So I'm not too concerned that it's starting on Saturday versus Friday from a fan perspective. I think our fans will be there in a big way.
Plenty to react to this morning here on a Tuesday. Jump in with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. If you need a place to stay this weekend for the Fayetteville Super Regional, look no further than the Inn at the Mill. You can give them a call at 479-443-1800. You can always visit online, inatthemill.com. That's inatthemill.com. For example, like there's plenty of things that you could take advantage of outside of just the Fayetteville Super Regional. Tommy, the Thomas Rhett concert, the Costellos, Tucker Wetmore are going to be in town on Thursday night. I know there's other things going on this weekend.
I think Luke Bryan's next week.
Mm-hmm. So their concerts always going on. The Inn at the Mill is the perfect destination for you staying in Northwest Arkansas or even just a staycation of sorts. Again, 479-443-1800. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present. So we kind of expected Tennessee to advance, being at home, being in Knoxville, in Lindsey Nelson. That's going to happen. We'll talk with Bruce Stan about this in just a bit. One of the things that was unexpected that hit my timeline yesterday was the retirement announcement from former Arkansas All-American and All-Pro and an absolute stud, Frank Ragnow. And he's our opening drive here this morning.
I think this year it's going to take some time. I just need to be healthy. It takes a toll on you. So I need to find a way to get back to Frank. It's just going to take some time and really figure everything out to make sure that I'm feeling good. Not only for me, the football player, but for me to be the best husband and the best father and everything is that.
I get a little emotional talking about him, but the dude's just a warrior, man. And he's been through it. He's been through it personally. He's been through it with us as a team. The guy's a warrior, and there was never a doubt when he got banged up today that he was just going to keep playing and keep fighting. It seems like he's always just fighting through pain all the time. He's the best center in football.
This is the opening drive.
So this kind of caught me off guard yesterday, Tommy. Obviously this is not something that Frank just decided to do all of a sudden, but again, this is a guy that you heard his teammate Taylor Decker say is the best center in football. Here was Frank yesterday. These past couple of months have been very trying as I've come to the realization that my football journey is ending and I'm officially retiring from the National Football League. He goes on to say it was an absolute honor going to battle for you all. When you ask Jared Goff, Taylor Decker, whose voice you just heard, or any of his teammates, they would say that. Frank has dealt with ankle injuries. He's dealt with a number of different injuries in his college and professional career. One of the things that stood out to me, I know Frank lost his dad earlier than any of us won, was the interaction following the Alabama game. And I believe that was back in 2016, where Nick Saban sought him out following the Crimson Tide's victory over the Razorbacks, and they had a small interaction. It wasn't, I'm not going to say here act like it was 5 or 10 minutes, but Saban intentionally wanted to talk to them because it just recently happened. But Detroit's losing one of the heart and soul pieces of their football team. I know Dan Campbell is probably emotional right now seeing one of his favorite players go. But this is a guy, Tommy, that was coming up on a decade of playing in the National Football League and really one of the best Razorback players in the NFL these last few years.
28 years old. That's what stood out to me. The announcement is Frank's 28. My daughter's 28. Linemen generally play into the mid-30s. I think all the things you said there probably factor into this decision, but I think just the wear and tear on your body. He probably made more money than he ever imagined having growing up in this game. It's been very good to him financially. And I think the family aspect of it, the health aspect of it moving forward, this is definitely a guy that, unless there was a catastrophic injury, probably could have played another 3 to 5, maybe 7 seasons. But the wear and tear on your body, the time that you have to dedicate to it, I think all those were likely centerpieces of his decision making.
And you heard Frank's comments that followed the NFC Championship game, not this past year because they didn't make it, but 2 years ago against the San Francisco 49ers where they came up just short. So if I had to guess, Tommy, he was thinking even about it back then. Like I guess that, what is that, nearly 2 years ago, year and a half, year and 3/4 ago, whatever it was. So that was something that he was, I don't know this to be factual, but based on those comments I just listened to and I was listening to this morning, that may have entered his mind. But one of the best Razorbacks here in recent memory, one of the higher draft picks that Arkansas has had in the last decade or so, has retired from the National Football League. And I know Detroit loves him. This is a kid that grew up in Minnesota, so it's kind of interesting. He's playing for one of the division rivals, but man, they really flocked to him, and he was a tremendous football player. I know Jared Goff is he's not going to be, let's just say, as safe or as satisfied with whatever center they roll out this upcoming season.
Well, to give you an idea, the kind of player and the respect he had around the league, I'm in the Boston area, New England area, and listening. You listen to WEEI up here, and they spent some time talking about Frank. And the hosts that were on in their afternoon show said, "I'd bet the under now on Detroit's season based on this." So
wow,
that's the kind of impact people outside of our Razorback footprint even think about Frank Ragnow. And generally, a center retiring doesn't get a lot of conversation outside of its home market. They spent a good 5-10 minutes on it in Boston radio yesterday, discussing Frank Ragnow's retirement and the impact it would have on the Lions. So, the other parts of the league are paying attention as well.
All right, that is your opening drive this morning. Bruce Stanton on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline in just one sec. Before we talk with Bruce, I know there's a lot of betting that's going to be going on this weekend, not just with the Super Regional here in Fayetteville. There's other college baseball you can bet on. MLB, Jack Caglione's getting, I think, his debut tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll talk about that. NBA action begins again on Thursday as the Oklahoma City Thunder host the Indiana Pacers. You can find all of this on the Oaklawn Sports app. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets right now. You're going to find it all on the Oaklawn Sports app. You can pay via debit, credit, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, on-site cash at the Oaklawn Sportsbook. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. We bring in our friend Bruce Stanton, who is in Tennessee, not in Knoxville, but in Nashville this morning. Bruce, what convention are we at here with Bradco on this Tuesday morning?
Well, it's the Make YN Happy convention in downtown Nashville. Yeah, we're on a little vacation, visiting Mom a little bit, but mostly just enjoying Nashville.
Okay. Well, are we going to go as a house divided to Baum Walker this weekend? Are we going to watch it together?
No, we're going together, and I think she's already started. I didn't start the trash talking. She's already started it, so I guess I'll just have to wear my national championship shirt today and just remind her. But I don't feel good about it. Tennessee's pitching outside of their 2 starters has just been suspect, and Razorbacks should win this thing.
Well, and I think that's important. See,
I didn't know Lou Holtz was on the program this morning.
Bruce.
Welcome, Coach Holtz. Thank you, Coach Holtz.
I will say, Bruce, as long as I've known you, not that I don't know if sandbagging's the right word, but like in big time games, you're never confident. And like I remember the Alabama Tennessee game 3 years ago with Hooker and those. I'm like, you guys know you're going to win this game. You're like, no, Alabama's going to be us for the 17th straight time or whatever it was. You have a quiet. I don't even know if it's a quiet confidence, but I'm going to be honest. I wanted Wake Forest in this region or this super badly. I don't like the fact that Tennessee just lost to Arkansas just 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I don't like that Tony Vitello has a terrible record against Tay Van Horn because that makes me think that he's due with finally beating his mentor. So it should be a great series. Again, I don't know if you've seen this yet. 4:00 on Saturday, 2:00 on Sunday, and then Monday to be determined, obviously, if they split games 1 and 2. So that's your setup for this weekend. And you look at the other Super Regionals, guys, there's a reason that ESPN decided to put this on the 4-letter network. Like, this is the best Super Regional. This is not Homer Ty talking. You look at the other matchups, this is the one that's the most captivating between the other 8 or the other 7.
Yeah, I mean, no question. Just when you look at the seeds, and Bruce, I was a little bit surprised it didn't make prime time, but it didn't surprise me at all to start on Saturday just because they knew and I would expect this series to go to a game 3. It will be probably a highly watched Monday night game is what I would imagine the executives at ESPN are hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously each team has a dominant starter. You would think that this will go 3. And it should be on national TV. It's more compelling than probably any other baseball, including Major League, that you could put on TV right now.
Do you guys want to do the Pradco Pyramid of Power since there's only 4 teams left?
No, we're doing it.
Okay.
We're doing it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, sure. Let's get it going here this morning. Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who are the best baseball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Kind of done it in a fashion that I wish the NCAA would do when it comes to the College World Series. I've reseeded. So I'm reseeding my Pradco Pyramid of Power after last night's results. I'm going to start off. I got 3 words for you. Woo Pig Suey. I got the Arkansas Razorbacks at number 1 in the Pradco Pyramid of Power. I'm looking at this, that when you look at who's the most equipped to win a national championship, doesn't mean they will. In fact, odds are they won't. But you got to like Arkansas's chances nationally. They're the highest seed left. I got the Arkansas Razorbacks number 1 in the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kind of tough to have a Pyramid of Power when 9 of the 13 SEC teams gag. But, Arkansas is the highest remaining seed. Cruised through the regional, didn't really have any problems at all. You got to say they're number 1. It's not just in the Pyramid of Power in the country right now.
Yeah. I know LSU had to go to a Game 7 in their regional to get out of there and beat Little Rock last night, but I still think LSU has the moxie. They've got the roster. I've got LSU at number 2 going into the Super Regional weekend of the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Yeah, I'd have lost my bet. I figured you've been high on Auburn all year. The way they crushed North Carolina State 11-1 and just cruised through their regional, I thought you'd have them number 2, so that's what I did.
Well, I got Auburn at 3. So you got Auburn at 2? You got LSU at 3 then? Or do you got
I got
Tennessee
LSU at 3.
You got
I
LSU?
got LSU at 3.
I got Auburn at 3, so we just flip-flop. I trust the postseason experience of an LSU program, and I know that maybe you shouldn't look at it in program terms, but LSU has that non-quiet confidence about what they do. So I'll go with LSU at 2 and Auburn at 3. I've got Tennessee at number 4. Well, when you're ranking the teams that are left, that they're there, but I do think Tennessee's got some issues, but I still think they're good enough to come into Fayetteville and win 2. But I got Tennessee ranked at number 4.
Well, I got them ranked number 4 because there's no one else left. So they toughed it out over Wake Forest. Here's the one guarantee we can make: there will be an SEC team in Omaha. There will be one at least.
Yeah.
And then I've got Arkansas and Tennessee.
Then I got Vanderbilt and Texas to round mine out. How the mighty have fallen, and 1 and 2 both go down in the regional round and at home. That was the surprising thing, and was a fun watch to watch Texas in particular. Fall to UTSA, an in-state school. I wouldn't even call it, certainly not an in-state rival.
Well, I just had a new subcategory called Gaggers. So I had Vandy Gagger number 1, Texas Gagger number 2, Georgia Gagger number 3, and Ole Miss Gagger number 4. They all lost home regional.
Man, that game last night between Ole Miss and Murray State. If you're a Murray State Racer fan, you would have just been on the edge of your seat. The fact that they somehow, some way closed out Ole Miss and got that game 12-11, I thought Ole Miss was going to get it done, yet they found a way to win.
Yeah, I did not stay up and watch that, Ty.
It was a great game. Great game.
Yeah. I mean, I thought all those games last night were fun. I was at the game in Boston, but watching and kind of following along just the scores on my phone, not really watching the game. We just keeping up the scores in between half innings. And I got back to the room and watched that LSU finish, and I really thought Little Rock kept coming back. Thought they were going to pull it off. So, all right, Bruce.
I got a question for you.
All right, we got about 30 seconds. What's up?
Oh, well, we need to talk about fishing. You need to go bluegill fishing, get your fill floats. Bluegill are spawning right now. Next full moon is going to be awesome. Get fill floats at Walmart. You can buy 12 different flavors, colors, sizes. On the base deck at Walmart, go get you some crickets and redworms and catch you some bluegill right now. And then take them home, clean them, fry them up.
Yeah. Got to get these flows down. Got to get this water level down across our state. Still a lot of water dropping.
Fish these Game and Fish Commission lakes, like Sugarloaf, Lee Creek, water levels have usually recede quicker on these small bodies of water, and these bluegill are getting up in the weeds. Go catch them.
All right, find it all, lurenet.com. Bruce, we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right.
See y'all. Epic series ahead in Fayetteville this weekend. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Postseason Baseball is brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Heath Roberts. When it comes time for insurance, we all know the big names, but Ty chose Heath Roberts at State Farm. Although State Farm is a big name, Heath is a local independent that earned his business.
Job's not finished.
Halbrook hits another one. Boy, Ryder is just on fire.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in supporting growing communities. That's why we're committed to putting home ownership within reach. Whether it's your first home, a fixer-upper, or your forever home, we have a variety of loan options to help make your dream home a reality. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe. Equal housing lender.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Come here, Billy. Give me something.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
I'm
ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mamaw's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
April showers bring May flowers, which brings June heat. Remember the June heat with the air you can wear? Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning. We offer the highest efficiency home comfort system on the market today with the York Affinity Series. So for all your high efficiency heating and cooling needs, plumbing and drain cleaning, get a red truck rolling your way today. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning in York. Give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Luxury is having nothing to do but decide between Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. A classic $5 box or an indulgent $7 box. Or the adventurous $9 box. Okay, I'll do the $7. I mean, 9. 5, 7. Wait, what am I doing? This choice is yours. Whichever you choose, get Lux for less with a $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
And your initial thoughts on going back to Arkansas?
I guess they win.
Yes.
Okay.
They won last night.
So, I mean, not that I didn't expect them to. I mean, I've talked to those guys before all this started, but I didn't know it was complete. When you're in the backyard, at least the neighborhood I grew up in, it was still kind of everybody meets out on the street and you play a bunch of games. And whenever I lost, maybe my dad did it to me, I was kind of a little punk. But I always wanted to, let's run it back. Let's redo it. So at the very least, my first reaction is we want to be playing this time of year, as does anybody that's left. I don't know if any other games are still going on. I haven't followed much of that stuff, but it's a blessing to be playing. And, This team has been confident going on the road, but at the very least, they get a chance to redo the thing.
All right, hand on the Bible. Do you think Tony Vitello actually didn't know that Arkansas advanced past the Fayetteville Regional and was waiting on the Volunteers?
There's no shot. There's no shot that he did not know that. Yeah, and I understand that maybe it makes you look like that you're just focused on your team. I don't know. It kind of sounded like a little bit of a scaredy cat answer to me, Ty. It seems like he's not quite that ready to return back to Fayetteville because the last time they came, it was belt went to ass.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I think I have this right. That Tony is 2-11 against Dave since arriving in Knoxville. Believe that's correct. If it's not, someone in the stats department correct me on that. So he has the hardware. Very aware of that. And I realize the dynamic here is Arkansas versus Tennessee, Tony versus Dave. The dynamic here is you're playing the defending national champion this weekend starting at 4 o'clock on Saturday. That's the dynamic. I could care less if it's Arkansas and Tennessee, to be honest. You have a chance to beat the defending national champion and go to Omaha. That's what you need to be focused on, in my opinion. Again, it's going to be played up as this rivalry. Tennessee is this blossoming program that's had a lot of success as of late. But it's like if Notre Dame had gone on to win the national championship, it's like and it's still the national runner-up. But that's what I'm focused on. You have a chance to defeat the defending national champion. I know other people have some other thoughts on that, but that's what I'm honing in on. Arkansas football did get a good commit yesterday. Bryce Gilmore, 4-star offensive lineman out of Prosper, Texas, chose the Razorbacks over Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Tech, Arizona State. He's a class of 2026 kid. He was also talking about the Razorbacks a little bit on 24/7 Sports. Here's what Bryce said about the program.
For the next few years, I will be committing to the University of Arkansas. Go Hogs.
Why Arkansas? What tipped the scales for the Razorbacks?
What tipped the scales for the Razorbacks is, firstly, Coach Mateos and Coach Pittman, knowing their track record with offensive linemen and knowing that I will be developed over there at the University of Arkansas, and also just the culture and, the environment. When I went there, I truly felt like this was home compared to any other visits I've been on. So knowing if something bad happens, with the coaching staff, I know that I'll still want to be in Fayetteville regardless. Knowing if something bad happens, with the coaching staff, I know that I'll still want to be in Fayetteville regardless.
Can I get that in writing?
I don't love hearing that from a recruit, but geez Louise.
But I get where he's coming. And I clipped that out, Ty, because it did make me laugh. But it's kind of refreshing to hear that. And it's also refreshing that, he got that offer from Texas Tech. So you know that they're trying to foot him a big bill. So he's obviously not, extremely focused about money or making NIL. He wants to go be developed, and he thinks that Mateos and Pittman can do it, and I think he's right. So that's a good pickup for the Razorbacks.
All right, that is your Hog Update here on this Tuesday morning. By the way, Arkansas, Tennessee, 4 o'clock ESPN on Saturday, and then 2 o'clock, right? Colton on Sunday as well. That's your Hog Update, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
Well, I'll tell you, someone that's excited about this upcoming weekend is our friend David Rath of Rath Mitsubishi. I got a text from David yesterday. I know he's trying to get to the game this weekend. David, I know you're also excited. You guys still have the hail sale going on, still, and got a lot of pre-owned inventory as well with some trade-ins at Rath Mitsubishi.
Yeah, we do, man. The hail sale, that's just been, it's been really exciting. We've been doing a lot of deals that way, and trying to replace that inventory is that's a full-time gig too. So we've been really aggressively getting out there and buying some cars, buying as many local as we can. So that's been great. We got some really cool stuff coming through the process right now, kind of going through our road ready inspection and all that. So I'm hoping to have all that stuff ready to sell by the weekend. So yeah, we're going to have, I think it was about 20 to 30 cars that I was trying to get pushed through there this week. So we got some really cool stuff coming out.
And you can find it all at Rath Mitsubishi, again, in Springdale. Great selection at Rath Auto Resources as well. David, excitement level for this weekend. Tennessee Volunteers coming into town. I know there's going to be a lot of people in Northwest Arkansas and Fayetteville. You couldn't ask for a better super matchup, could you?
No, and I wish I had more time to pay a whole lot more attention to it between juggling the kids and work and everything else. I haven't been able to watch as much as I'd like to, but it is exciting, and having something fun like that going on, it makes it a little bit easier to be a Razorback fan. You know, not trying to be a fair weather fan about it, but it does make it makes it fun.
Yeah, I thought of you when you're talking about kids. I don't know if you saw Scotty Scheffler. Like, he went to the Memorial this past weekend, and then he picks up his kid, and his kid like just pooped himself. So he's
he won in the blowout.
I thought that was a funny situation. Again, he's David Rath, Mitsubishi. Larry Rath at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith. David, have a great rest of your week. Hopefully Arkansas gets it done against Tennessee this weekend.
I appreciate it, man. You guys too.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question when we return.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Why did I leave? They may win this game, and I'm not in there. This is The Morning Rush.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com. Lavorne Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Luxury is having nothing to do but decide between Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. A classic $5 box or an indulgent $7 box. Or the adventurous $9 box. Okay, I'll do the $7. I mean, 9. 5, 7. Wait, what am I doing? This choice is yours. Whichever you choose, get Lux for less with a $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
April showers bring May flowers, which brings, June heat. Remember the June heat with the air you can wear? Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning. We offer the highest efficiency home comfort system on the market today with the York Affinity Series. So for all your high efficiency heating and cooling needs, plumbing and drain cleaning, get a red truck rolling your way today. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning in York. Give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, Carpath Social Morning Rush Daily Question here on National Egg Day. Yes, National Egg Day. What is the best way to consume eggs? Poached, scrambled, over easy, over medium, you name it. Tell us what it is. 877-377-6963. That's our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. On National Egg Day, the best way to consume eggs. And I don't like deviled eggs. I personally am a fan of over easy. Used to not like that back in the day. Fried eggs are also good, but if given the choice, Colton, I'm going over easy eggs.
I guess my egg turn knowledge is not necessarily great. What's where you just flip it on the pan and you fry it, and then it's got some run to it? Is that over easy? I'm not exactly sure. That's how I like it, and I'll eat them scrambled.
It's got some, probably over medium.
Over medium, I like a little. I like some runny yolk, but to be honest with you, there's really not a bad way to eat an egg. I like eggs. Eggs are good.
There's multiple ways to do it. B in Clarksville says scramble is the way to go. Tyler from Greenwood says that the way to do it is over medium. He likes it like that. Sunny side up is what you're talking about.
That's the way I like
Jesse
it.
and Springdale over medium. Eggs are just easy. They're simple. You can do them for breakfast, lunch, even dinner. They go good with fried rice. They go with, I don't know if they're necessarily the bacon edition, but they are pretty stinking good. Milk toast and hot springs, omelet. That's the way he does eggs. Lee from Springdale says over medium or an omelet. That's also bad. Omelets are good. I feel like omelets kind of cheating, though, because you get to add in all these different ingredients. Spencer in Fort Smith enjoys it with poached, with an English muffin.
What is a poached? Is that where you have to that's like real cooking? That's like you have to do some serious stuff, culinary stuff to it, right?
Yeah.
I have
Smoked
no idea.
eggs.
I couldn't do that.
Caleb in Painberg says smoked eggs. I don't know if I've ever had a smoked egg.
But you're out on deviled eggs, you said?
Yeah, I'm not
I can't
a
do
deviled
those either. Not a fan.
They're not for me. Not for me. All right, that is your Card Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. By the way, Spencer in Fort Smith, Colton just says they're boiled. That's all a poached egg is. It's just boiled. I haven't had one of those in years, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Again, Card Pass Social, #1 place to play golf in Northwest Arkansas. Listen, it's going to get hot here soon. It is hot in some places across our state, and you want a place that you can go in an air-conditioned, climate-controlled environment. Well, Cart Pass Social is the place to go. 479-487-3622, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from Matt Woods. I know Christian and Nate really excited for their 1-year anniversary, which is coming up here 2 weeks from this Thursday. It'll be June 12th through the 14th. They're going to have all these different things. Cart Pass Social After Dark, College World Series watch party, which hopefully the Razorbacks are participants in. They do a great job. Haley does a great job. Nate's wife with their social media. You can go to cartpasssocial.com. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Two Rogers guys, Christian Olson, Nate Gearhan, who I went to school with. Great dudes. Cart Pass Social. It's always BYOB at Cart Path Social. So you had some great games yesterday. Best game of the night was Murray State and Ole Miss.
Hit out towards center field. Hogart underneath it. Murray State races into Super Regionals for the first time in program history.
Ole Miss was down, I want to say it was almost like 12-2 last night, and ended up falling 12-11. They came storming back. I thought they were going to get it done at Swayze yesterday, but came up just short. For Tennessee, I don't know how you felt. I know Wake Forest started up on that game. Colton, once they took control, though, in Knoxville, I never felt like they were going to relinquish it from the Demon Deacons last night.
One big inning, Ty. That fourth inning for Tennessee, I think 6 or 7 runs came across. Just a couple of missed throws resulted in some errors. Some unearned runs came in, and then Tennessee, what they do in that ballpark is they knock it out of there, and they have done that all season long as Vitello has been there. So I definitely did think that once Wake Forest got on them early, that maybe this would end up being, one of those games that came down to the final pitch, and we were waiting on it. But you said it, Ty. After the energy in Knoxville started to get up in that ballpark, and the players were going crazy, I didn't see any chance that Wake Forest could had enough gusto to come back into the game.
Here's something to think about this weekend. So with Root starting this past Saturday. Need to correct that. Saturday. I'm gonna expect that Dave Van Horn and Matt Hobbs elect to put him in the first game role this Saturday. It's a week rest. No change in time. Not a day's less or 2 days less. He's going to be the same. The intriguing part is more on the Tennessee side. Liam Doyle, their ace, who you banged up in the Tennessee series a few weeks ago, who I would guess wants revenge on Arkansas.
Yeah.
Just knowing any competitor. He pitched last night. In addition to starting earlier this week. I think he went 2 1/3 last night, if I remember that correctly, watching that. So he closed out the game. That was who Tony Vitello, again, jumped in the arm.
Jumping into Big Boy's arms was fun and
last night. So that's something that Vitello and Luke Bonfield and the rest of that staff have to figure out. It's like, hey, what are we going to do with this pitching rotation this weekend? Now, they get an extra day. Arkansas, it would have been, honestly, I think, better for the Razorbacks if they had gotten a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Instead, it's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Saturday at 4 o'clock on ESPN, Sunday at 2 o'clock, and then we'll see about the setup for that Sunday game or Monday game if it comes to that. But that's, I think, as we get later in the week, that's going to be one of the biggest question marks. So I think you're set with Arkansas. You go Root, you go Gage Wood, and then we'll see if you make it to I keep saying Sunday. You make it to Monday, then obviously Dave Van Horn and his staff will have to make a decision. Maybe it's made on Sunday night. It will be on Sunday night. But that's, I think, the intriguing part of this weekend is how Tennessee goes with their pitching rotation, Colton.
Yeah, Doyle wants to get a little get back, and of course Tennessee, that's kind of their whole mantra is just being, the punky kids on the block that want to, stick it to you and talk trash, and that's fine. They can bring that fur coat to bomb. It'll end up in Norm's Lake out there by the end of the series. I'm totally fine with that. But I think that, Ty, that the interesting thing to me that this, coming up on this weekend, there's going to be some weather they're going to have to dodge all weekend. Yep. And so with our fans being there, we had a good text from Jim in Fayetteville earlier on in the program that mentioned this. He said that some of the weather could potentially, keep some of the fans away at Baum, especially, the start of a new work week. I understand that. And I'll be honest with you, a big part of the reason why you won this past weekend is because those fans definitely got in those pitchers' heads, counting up, their 1, 2, 3 as they were, winding up to pitch. I think that definitely got those pitchers for Creighton rattled a little bit, and that environment, that atmosphere that's going to be happening this weekend and Saturday, Sunday, Monday at Baum Stadium is going to be huge. You don't want weather to play a factor in dampening those spirits. The only spirits you want out there are the ones in the hog pen.
Jordan in Green Forest saying, we got screwed Saturday through Monday. It seems like they wanted to give that stupid Orange crew another day of rest. I just hate Tennessee baseball. Tennessee baseball has become I think even more of a pain in your side than Ole Miss. Now, both those teams have national championships. One went through you. Tennessee, of course, the most recent national champion. To me, the biggest storyline is that the fact that you get to knock out the defending national champion in this Super Regional. Recently, you've had success against SEC teams. You pounded South Carolina in Game 3 in 2018. You pounded Ole Miss in Game 3 of 2018. If I remember correctly, both those Game 1s, you crushed them pretty good there. Then they bounced back in both those Game 2s, and then you ended up going on and advancing to the College World Series. So an opportunity ahead for the Arkansas Razorbacks. We'll see if they can take advantage of it. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. APAC has everything you need, top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready mixed concrete. It could be a large-scale commercial job. It could be a residential project. No job is too big or too small. You can give them a call at 479-587-3300. They have consultant services to ensure that you're always on the right track. Rock, asphalt, ready mix needs, APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. That's 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group. Now, from the Arkansas perspective, Ryder Helfrich summed it up yesterday.
Job's not finished. We got one more.
Job's not finished. I say yesterday. I should say Sunday. I mean, this team feels like that they can do more, that they can advance more. And how about the fact that 9 of the 13 SEC teams have already been eliminated? Only Auburn, LSU, your Arkansas Razorbacks, and the Tennessee Volunteers remain standing in this field, which is crazy, crazy. 16 teams, only one SEC matchup. We'll see if Auburn can get by Coastal Carolina, and we'll see if LSU can get by West Virginia. Auburn's got to go to Conway, South Carolina. LSU will be hosting the Mountaineers. That is not something that I expected to say when the possibility of the SEC winning streak with national championships could come to an end. But that's what we're looking at past this weekend, Colton.
Yeah, and Ty, you mentioned, I think that it's funny, how driven this team is and how bad it looks like they want it and how they have a great opportunity now. We like to think that college baseball is still this last bastion of college sports that hasn't been touched by the perversion of NIL in our game, making things just not as fun as they used to be and a little bit more difficult to swallow. But Ty, the last time this team went to Omaha, how many players do you think are still on that roster? Not that many. It's been a couple of years. And even if it was only the last year,
Mac,
maybe Dylan Carter, maybe a couple pitchers, some older pitchers, probably a handful. So this whole team, this whole squad, they haven't had any taste of Omaha. You don't think they want to get back there and, affirm to everybody, get there for the first time, or to affirm to everybody that, hey, this coach that everybody says is the best, he absolutely is. They have a lot riding for him. And we heard Ryan McGee talk about it yesterday, Ty. That pressure is playing into their favor, and I'm excited to watch it this weekend because, as you said, the SEC has shown that they've dropped like flies over this NCAA tournament because they're not as deep as the Arkansas Razorback team.
Yeah, Ryan kind of painted a similar picture that Mike Rooney did with us last week about, hey, can you overcome that pressure that's accompanied playing with Arkansas baseball? Yes, one of the premier programs in college baseball. Yes, in the SEC, but the fact that they haven't won a national championship just yet. We'll see if this team is able to do that and get by the balls this upcoming week. Another thing to keep an eye on with this, I think Cannon Pebbles, if I read this, I think I read this in Whole Hog Sports.
He got ejected last night.
Yeah. So I think he's ineligible for game 1.
Which that kid's a hitter, and that's their catcher back there. So maybe hopefully maybe a couple balls get past the catcher back there, they're back up, and you get some unearned runs that'll be the key to that first game victory.
Yeah, so that'll be that's something that also plays a role into this matchup this weekend. Hey, we still got a lot to get to here in the Morning Rush Hour 2. Tom Murphy coming up in just a bit. We're brought to you by Arts Barbecue in Rogers. Cole, I know that you're going to go there sometime this week. Highly recommend the brisket burger. Had that last week. It's unbelievable. All their burgers are. They're $1 off every single Saturday. Their salads are great. I know the next time Brennan Searcy comes here, we're going to go to Arts because it's an awesome place. Chicken, I mean, they have everything you want at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Stop by and see Wade Morgan and their team at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Hour 2 coming up. Like I said, Tom Murphy joins us next.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in supporting growing communities. That's why we're committed to putting home ownership within reach. Whether it's your first home, a fixer-upper, or your forever home. We have a variety of loan options to help make your dream home a reality. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe. Equal housing lender.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com. Lavorne Lumber. Pam and the Bills will take care of you.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Are you paying more than $95 a month for your website? Modular Orange specializes in building professional custom websites for service businesses just like yours for $95 a month with no upfront costs. There's a reason lawyers, dentists, accountants, counselors, plumbers, and electricians all trust Modular Orange to build their online presence. And they don't stop there. They also offer SEO and digital advertising at prices that will blow the competition away. Ready to get started? Go to modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That go to hunt.
Dog,
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Swiss dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, mainly sunny sky. There's a chance of an isolated shower or storm across the north. Our high temperatures today, mid to upper 80s. A chance of seeing some showers, some scattered thunderstorms later on tonight. And the overnight low will drop down to upper 60s to near 70. Showers and occasional thunderstorms Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 75 days.
Daddy's truck, daddy's bottle, open top. 1-0.
Deep. Is it deep enough? Coming into this game, we talked about the Oklahoma Sooners and how it was a full lineup effort for their run production. Well, the Tar Heels taking a page out of that book here today.
Driven deep to left. Pass her down. Done it again. Yes, he has.
And the senior catcher put on a show here in Game 7 in the Baton Rouge Regional.
And there it is. The Tigers advance to the 17th Super Regional in program history. Right field and deep.
Infield into 2. Track hooked over short into center. Fisher scores. Ansley on his heels. And the lead is 5 for the Vols.
This team has been confident going on the road, but at the very least, they get a chance to redo the thing.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Man, I hope we tear them a you know what this weekend. Back in Baumwalker Stadium, less than a month later. Tennessee, Arkansas, the only SEC matchup in the Super Regionals this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Saturday at 4 o'clock on ESPN. Sunday at 2 o'clock. To be determined. Arkansas, it'd be nice. Like Miltos testing in. He said, he's texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Said, time I'm going to disagree. Arkansas is a business. Like win Saturday and Sunday. Monday, be ready for Omaha. That'd be nice. Arkansas was getting a chance to watch the Wake Forest and Tennessee game last night because they took care of business in their regional this weekend. But I'm going to guess that this game's going to go to this series is going to go to 3 games. This Super Regional is going to go to 3 games. Just a hunch, but that's where I'm at. Tom Murphy set to join us here momentarily as we keep it going. All of our regional coverage, Super Regional coverage, I'm so used to saying regional after last week, is brought to you by Heath Roberts with State Farm. You can give Heath a call at 479-452-4088. When it comes to insurance, you got a choice. So why not choose my insurance agent? He legitimately is my insurance agent. Heath stays local and is involved in the community. Cares about your insurance and his community as well. Again, 479-452-4088. I had a choice. Homeowners, car insurance, all that with Heath. Again, 479-452-4088. Choose Heath Roberts with State Farm. All right, now it's time to talk to our friend Tom Murphy here on the Morning Rush.
We got something called beef. B-E-E-F.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Once again, beef.
All right, Tom, we know the opponent. It's the Tennessee Volunteers. They're coming in this weekend. 4 o'clock Saturday on ESPN, of course, right here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and our Hit That Line Now app. Only 4 SEC teams remain, Tom. You still think the SEC is going to win the title this year?
Good morning, guys. It's a little bit of a stunning turn of events that only 4 are left. It's a little bit reminiscent of football when, they got some teams in the playoff. Was it, I guess, 4, but the dominance didn't show up, and obviously they didn't win the national championship for the second year in a row. So it's been a disappointing run, particularly when you consider the Vandy and Texas, the 1 and 2 seeds are out, leaving Arkansas as the highest remaining seed. So, and then, of course, between them and Tennessee, only one of those is going to make it to the College World Series. And I guess you got Auburn and LSU with home regionals as well, so they should be favored. So a maximum of 3 out of the 8 in Omaha.
Yeah, because that is it is kind of puzzling how this first weekend has played out. But like you said, still a lot of opportunity for SEC teams to continue on this upcoming weekend. Tom Murphy with us, Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Tom, of course, writes with Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Tom, what do you think that Tennessee does with their pitching? Liam Doyle pitched last night. He started earlier this week. Do they pitch him against Zach Root, Arkansas's expected starter on Saturday, or do they wait for him on Sunday?
He didn't start the first game here, and Arkansas rattled him pretty good. And on the second game, I think he gave up 8 earnings, maybe 7. But they really hit him. Arkansas really gears up for the highest velocity, top quality pitchers. They don't always tear them up, but they gear up and they have a good track record of preparing well for those guys. My guess would be that they wait. So he pitched on Monday night, and I don't think you'd want him to go on Saturday. So my guess is that he would be their Sunday guy. And then for Arkansas, I think it plays pretty well for Tennessee that they get the Saturday, Sunday, Monday series.
Yeah.
Because they just played last night and had to use Doyle. But for Arkansas, there's a little bit of a benefit because I think keeping Zach Root on his normal rest and being able to start him on Saturday will – a fresh Zach Root has been a good Zach Root because if they get the Zach Root who pitched against Tennessee and last weekend against Creighton, they'll be in good shape. So I expect him to be their game one guy. The real question for me is, what do you do with Aiden Jimenez? Because Gage Wood's start was so good, you figure he'd be game 2, and then do you hold on to a Landon Beidelshees, or do you start Aiden Jimenez again in game 3? They have a lot of options, a lot of arms they trust, but it will be fascinating to watch who comes in behind potential Root in game 1.
And I don't know if you watched Doyle last night, but he almost got ejected too, which was interesting. We've seen Tony Vitello get ejected this year. The other kind of tentacle of this game 1, Tom, is Tennessee starting catcher Cannon Peebles will not be suiting up because of his ejection. So how much do you think that may be factoring in Tennessee's decision to with the backup catcher having to play game 1 on Saturday?
Well, that's a great puzzler, and here's the thing. They recruit well, just like Arkansas recruits well. But, when Arkansas had to go to when they lost Nolan Souza, you're going to backups. And it worked out for a while. The Gabe Frazier experiment played out. He had a huge hit in the win over Georgia. But, now they're to where Reese Robinette is in that spot basically at first because Cam Kojo has moved to second. But you just lose a little bit. I don't know how good their backup catcher is. I'm sure he's serviceable at a minimum because they recruit so well. So we'll see. Tennessee's feistiness is something that obviously all of baseball is aware of. And they had a guy get hit by a pitch, and I think it was his second one of the game. And as he went to first, there was a little demonstrative stuff, and the umpires had to come out for that. So we talked to Dave about it after the series. For him, his team is to not worry at all about anything that's happening in the other dugout. But sometimes you can't help. And we've seen there's a pitcher for Florida State that's going to be suspended for the Super Regionals for mouthing on, uttering some pretty bad profanity. And they're catching people all over the place with profanity, and guys like Gage Wood and Will McIntyre have had very demonstrative coming off the mound at the end of innings. You just don't direct that to the other team, keep it under control and stay away from the other antics, I would say.
Yeah, because Tennessee will try to bring out the worst of you at times. Tom Murphy with us, courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He, of course, writes for Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Tom, you mentioned Florida State. They've got Oregon State this weekend. Miami against Louisville. North Carolina against Arizona. Auburn against Coastal. UTSA, go Roadrunners, against UCLA. Murray State against Duke after defeating Ole Miss. West Virginia and LSU. And, of course, the Super Regional this weekend. Is there a Super Regional series you're most interested in outside the one in Fayetteville?
Yeah, there's so many upsets over the weekend that these are good teams. I mean, Tim Corbin, he got kind of testy after one of their losses, but those are good teams that have good pitchers. UTSA, unbelievable what they did, and some of their best players left and went to Texas. And the UTSA coach is like, hey, we wouldn't be here if we hadn't lost those guys and replaced them with other guys. So, to me, the entire scenario is fascinating. I'm disappointed in the SEC that Ole Miss was at home, Texas, Vandy, Alabama was 0-2, and just did not have a good showing. But I'll be keeping an eye on all of them, obviously.
Tom, outside of baseball, there is something Razorback related that I wanted to ask you about. Frank Ragnow, retiring from the National Football League. I'm going to guess people close to him maybe knew that this was coming. I was caught surprised by this. What did you make of Frank's decision to retire as one of the best centers in football right now?
Well, first of all, Frank Ragnow has been one of the most, the coolest humans to come through the program. I mean, you end up having a fondness for a lot of the guys who come through, but particularly him. I mean, he believed in Sam Pittman and came down here during his great recruitment of, the 2013 through 15 with that great offensive line. And, it worked out for him. He was the number 20 pick in the draft. It wasn't shocking to me because I know he's been dealing with injuries. And then I read into it a lot more deeply yesterday morning after the announcement and found that, he was dealing with something like maybe a neck all year last year. He's had toe, knee, and ankle issues through his whole career. And I think with the salaries the way they are now, and he thought about it last offseason. He pondered what he wanted to do. It's not a big surprise that you're talking about quality of life, being able to walk well and, play with your family and just have a good quality of life. And he's made a ton of money. And I know he's been a guy, he's got the Grizzly Man stuff that he did even as he first came to college. So he'll be fine. And, there's a certain point in it where, this is taking a toll on my body. And I wake up every morning feeling like this. I would prefer to stay healthier instead of risk, a really catastrophic injury and chronic stuff for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you mentioned last offseason. Here was him following the loss to the 49ers after that.
Yeah, I think this year it's gonna take some time. I just need to be healthy. It takes a toll on you. Yeah, it really takes a toll on you. So I need to find a way to get back to Frank. And I don't regret any of this at all, but it weighs on you, and it's just going to take some time and really figure everything out to make sure that I'm feeling good. Not only for me, the football player, but for me to be the best husband and the best father.
I've really enjoyed listening to him speak, and his teammates, Jared Goff, Taylor Decker, others have said nothing but glowing things about him. So I know Dan Campbell is really sad to see him go, as is Detroit and that entire fan base with the Lions with Frank Ragnow.
He's been a centerpiece of one of the best revival stories in NFL history.
Yeah, and sometimes people scoff when you select an offensive lineman in the first round. Detroit's not Detroit these last few years without Frank Ragnow. I don't think anyone would disagree with that at all. Tom, staying within football, Taylon Green going to the Manning Passing Academy. Are you going down to Thibodaux, Louisiana at the end of the month?
Nah, a lot of Razorbacks. I know both of the Allen brothers did that, and some others. But we've never done that travel. But you know what? It's great. One of the top names in college football. So for the Mannings to think that well of him, hopefully he'll pick up some tips. And I just feel like his quick decision making is going to be more on point this year. The tutelage of Bobby Petrino can't be undervalued in understanding how quickly because you could tell there were some indecisions on some of his dropbacks. He didn't have the greatest protection, but if they get slightly better at protection and he makes quicker decisions, I think they can overcome the loss of a very talented receiver core and stay on par with their passing game this year.
All right, Tom. Before we let you go, I need you to answer a serious question. It's National Egg Day, so Mr. Murphy, what is the proper way to eat an egg?
Oh my gosh, I'm a big egg fan. I eat a lot of them. I mix it up. Variety has been the key for me. In everything I do in my diet, what have you. I'll eat them scrambled, fried, poached, boiled. It doesn't matter. I love them.
Eggs are good, man. We'll celebrate National Egg Day accordingly, and we'll chat here in a few days as we get ready for this Super Regional against the Tennessee Volunteers.
Outstanding. Always enjoy it, Ty. Thanks.
Good stuff from Mr. Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette here on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Tom's visits with us on Tuesday are always brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. On a cattle ranch, calves are not only raised by their mother, but they're raised by a community of farms, ranchers, veterinarians that are committed to give them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because cattle farmers, ranchers, and their moms of the baby calves, animal welfare is their top priority. Together, we bring more beef. It's What's for Dinner, funded by the beef farmers and ranchers, courtesy of beefwhatsfordinner.com. That's beef. It's whatsfordinner.com. So, Colton, I feel like I'm obligated to play this clip. Now, I remember a play Frank Ragnow had in his Detroit career where he's going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Vita Vea, who might be the best defensive tackle in all of football. In all of football, including college, of course. Plays in the NFL, it's better. And Frank's playing on like a busted ankle. Like his ankle is shot. And yet he just perseveres and gets through it. So I hope to see him back on campus at some point this fall. He's really liked, of course, Sam Pittman, a Sam Pittman guy. So that would be cool to see him come back to campus a little later on for this upcoming football season. Maybe I'm going to guess a lot of former players have given the opportunity are going to come back for that Notre Dame game, which should be a fun one, week 5. We're ways out for, what are we, 88? Or is it 88 days out from football, Colton?
Sounds about right.
Okay.
80 something.
Yeah, it's
closer
high
by
80s,
the minute.
if I remember that correctly. Don't have to wait that long for the upcoming Super Regional against the Tennessee Volunteers. Tony Vitello on this Arkansas upcoming matchup.
And your initial thoughts on going back to Arkansas?
I guess they win.
Yes.
Okay.
They won last night.
So, I mean, not that I didn't expect them to. I mean, I've talked to those guys before all this started, but I didn't know it was complete. When you're in the backyard, at least the neighborhood I grew up in, it was still kind of everybody meets out on the street and you play a bunch of games. And whenever I lost, maybe my dad did it to me, I was kind of a little punk. But I always wanted to, let's run it back. Let's redo it. So at the very least, my first reaction is we want to be playing this time of year, as does anybody that's left. I don't know if any other games are still going on. I haven't followed much of that stuff, but it's a blessing to be playing. And this team has been confident going on the road, but at the very least, they get a chance to redo the thing.
He lies.
I get it. That feels very, very, he has fun. He knows that we're going to play off of this. Fan base is going to play off this. Just listen, not a great record against Dave Van Horn in college baseball since arriving in Knoxville. And I hope that trend stays the same as of this weekend. I really do. Again, whether it's conversation surrounding their starting catcher Peebles, who won't play in Saturday's game because of the suspension, or if they pitch Doyle or not. I know he didn't have a great outing in game 2 the last time these two teams battled, but I just think the fact that he pitched last night, you won't see him on Saturday. But apparently he wanted the ball last night, so maybe he'll want the ball again on Saturday as well. You have to keep an eye on that because I think that's an interesting part of this whole matchup this week. It's the best Super Regional, though. The cool thing is you do have the best matchup featuring 2 SEC teams. There's no other 2 SEC foes going at it. We got a text earlier here. Let's see, John in Nashville. Well, Tennessee wants the Razorbacks. He wants Oregon State in the final. Let's not get the cart too in front of the horse. They'll take on Florida State this weekend. You would play LSU, assuming that they beat West Virginia in that first game of the College World Series. So you would have to go through potentially 2 SEC teams to get to that next game. Obviously, Tennessee this weekend, LSU maybe the next, but that's kind of your setup here these next few weeks possibly.
Yeah, Tennessee coming to town it is as a fan, it's what you want. You know, you want to be able to watch big time games and big time moments in the best stadium in all of college baseball, and that's what you're going to get a chance to do this weekend with the Volunteers coming to town. And I know that everybody really doesn't like the fact that the Tennessee they're the ones that are barking at people and they wear the fur coat and they do that. All the rah-rah, look at me stuff. There is no denying the fact that is one of the best baseball programs, and they have been for a long time, and or at least in recent memory because of the fact that Tony Vitello is there, and he is a really good baseball coach that his players obviously love playing for him. And I do think that this weekend is going to be intense, no matter how you look at it. It's going to be Liam Doyle is one of the best pitchers in the nation. Like you said, Ty, he is looking to get back at the chance to, strike more Razorback hitters out than give up home runs, which is not what he did last time.
Tom made a reference there, which is important. Whether it's Doyle, Brady Singer on the Florida Gators, Paul Skeens on the LSU Tigers, Arkansas 2 years ago, Arkansas has like the ace in college baseball in the SEC that year. Most of the time, Arkansas dings them up pretty good.
Yeah, bring your best, for sure.
That's what's so it's pretty wild when you think about some of the best pitchers in college baseball that have played in this league the last decade or so. Arkansas sent them around, and hopefully they can do the same this weekend against Liam Doyle. Hey, this morning, before we go to our SEC update, I want to tell you about Burn Pools and Spas right now. You want a backyard that's fun and relaxing? Not just for you, but for friends, the rest of your family. Well, the Doughboy Super Sale is going on right now where you get up to $1,500 off Doughboy above ground pools, 18-foot coastal pools, just $75 a month, or a 12 by 24 oval semi-ground pool starting at just $16,999. These deals won't last long. Visit Bird Pools and Spas, 3 locations, Fort Smith, Springdale, and Greenland. Plus, they got their new location at Hot Springs, so 4 now. 4 at 916 Airport Road. Burn Pools and Spas provide a spa service to help Arkansans feel like this is the best dealer in the state, because it is. Burn Pools and Spas, now 4 locations across our state. When we return, Jack Caglione spent, 3 weeks with the Northwest Arkansas Naturals.
Had a cup of coffee in the minors.
And then with the Omaha Storm Chasers. Now soon up for the Kansas City Royals, it looks like tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll talk about him, some other SEC news when we come back, and your SEC update.
Postseason baseball is brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts. When it comes time for insurance, we all know the big names, but Ty chose Heath Roberts at State Farm. Although State Farm is a big name, Heath is a local that earned his business.
Job's not finished.
Halbert hits another one. Boy, Ryder is just on fire.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
And I got to figure out, excuse my French.
This is the Morning Rush.
Is your DIY website killing your business and robbing your time? Modular Orange specializes in building professional custom websites for service businesses just like yours for just $95 a month. That's right, a high-performance website for only $95 a month with no upfront costs. There's a reason lawyers, dentists, accountants, counselors, plumbers, electricians, and more all trust Modular Orange to build their online presence. Take your time back to focus on what you do best. Let the professionals at Modular Orange handle your website. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gas every time.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America. The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hogs have finally the Hills, the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, seriously, how do you feel? Do you feel a little tired because you've been doing a lot of stuff? Not bad. I mean, you've been doing outfield stuff, and you've been taking your ground balls, everything. It's been working, but it's been good. So you think you feel like you're at the point where you could help, like them up there? You think you could? Yeah. Well, then you can get on the charter tomorrow night and go with them.
And that was the Omaha Storm Chasers head baseball coach talking with Jack Caglione, former Florida Gator, about being called up to the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Arkansas connection, of course, it's been a few weeks here in Northwest Arkansas with the Naturals. He's hitting over 300 with the Storm Chasers. Listen to this stat. 38 AAA games, 9 home runs, and 43 RBIs. Apparently he's going to call his dad after that. So that was Mike Jershell who was talking to him. So St. Louis, KC, that's the game tonight. NBA Finals on tonight. That might be a game worth watching if you're just a casual baseball fan based on this kid that a lot of people are excited about finally getting in the majors, Colton.
Yeah, they're super excited about seeing Caglione make it up to the big show. I know that you heard Jercel right there talking about it. You've been taking infield, you've been doing outfield and stuff like that. I remember he pitched at Florida State too, Ty. The kid's a baseball player, born and bred. That's what he was born to do. And so to see those kids finally get a chance to make it up to the big leagues after all that hard work, it's always great. And I always love seeing videos like that, getting those moments. And he says, I got to call my dad. That's the first thing I would do too. Just I got to share that news. So always exciting. And Ty, you mentioned it. As a casual baseball fan, I know that St. Louis and Kansas City, those are two big brands in Major League Baseball. So that may be one worth tuning into tonight. I mean, not really sure that would be great baseball or anything. I don't keep up with either one of those teams, but I do know that it will be exciting to watch a kid that was just here in our neck of the woods go up to the big show.
Speaking of Florida, did you see Kevin O'Sullivan's typed out apology from his, I'm going to guess his SID,
his assistant,
his communications
his
director.
SID's assistant's assistant, I'm sure. Yeah, or AI, ChatGPT. Absolutely.
That could have happened too, but he did post an apology apparently after.
Which is the right thing to do. And I went in on him yesterday, not quite as much as the CCU baseball coach, but at the end of the day, there's just a fine line between being passionate about the fact that you want to protect your players and that you care and just being a jerk, and you definitely crossed it.
Arkansas football did get some good news yesterday as 4-star offensive lineman Bryce Gilmore picks the Razorbacks. Here's him talking about it.
For the next few years, I will be committing to the University of Arkansas. Go Hogs.
Why Arkansas? What tipped the scales for the Razorbacks?
What tipped the scales for the Razorbacks is, firstly, Coach Mateos and Coach Pittman, knowing their track record with offensive linemen and knowing that I will be developed over there at the University of Arkansas, and also just the culture and, the environment. When I went there, I truly felt like this was home compared to any other visits I've been on. So knowing if something bad happens, with the coaching staff, I know that I'll still want to be in Fayetteville regardless.
I still can't get over that last part. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I did think that was interesting. Richard Davenport's going to be with us tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We'll get some updates from him, not just on Bryce, but maybe what happened with some of these official visits this past weekend. This was a kid that was recruited by a couple SEC schools and others, so Arkansas did win his services. You pointed out that they beat out Texas Tech, who Joe McGuire has just a slush fund like no one has ever seen in college football. They had the number one transfer portal class. The same, and I'm forgetting the big wig that has the oil company. It's like $4.1 billion. That's possibly going to be on the commission with Coach Saban. I'm blanking on his name.
Could be Scrooge McDuck for all you care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just some wealthy guy trying to buy his way to a championship.
Yep, and that's what Texas Tech is doing. So good news for Arkansas football and Sam Pittman. Did see on the Hall of Fame ballot, want to give credit to a former Razorback, Leotis Harris, is on the 2026 College Football Hall of Fame ballot. Some notable names you probably remember: Randall Cobb with Kentucky, Percy Harvin with Florida Gators. They have, this is funny, Josh Heupel with Oklahoma. And I tend to think of it like it as an SEC theme, but it's not. Just the SEC names that I'm mentioning. Of course, they were playing the Big 12 back then. Mark Ingram, Cam Newton, D'Amico Ryans with Alabama, Takeo Spikes, who's one of my favorite. I remember when him and Matt Jones had a conversation in SEC Media Days. He got on the headset. He's like, Matt Jones. And it was just the dynamic there was cool. A couple coaches as well, Dennis Francione and Tommy Tuberville.
Senator Tommy Tuberville.
Also, yeah. Which I saw some report that apparently Bruce Pearl, if Tuberville is, I can't remember if he announced his candidacy or if there's a possibility of him being a candidate, that maybe Pearl takes over a Senate seat in Alabama, which would just be kind of a...
He'd get the vote.
Yeah.
He would get the vote.
I'm surprised that an Auburn guy won the Alabama vote because that state is primarily Alabama, but yeah, that's what happened. Other SEC news, LSU moves on. They beat Little Rock last night.
And there it is. The Tigers advance to the 17th Super Regional in program history.
That was a good game. Coach Curry's squad gave them all they can handle this weekend. And at least got them to a deciding game. 10-6 the final in that one. Was really hoping Little Rock could pull it out. They weren't able to. North Carolina
You're not going to say it?
Say what?
Can't trust the Trojan?
Yeah, can't trust the Trojan.
I thought that's something you'd have abided by for a long time. I didn't know if you were ruffling around in your back pocket to get rid of one of your old friends in your wallet or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on from that. North Carolina against Oklahoma, 14-4 for the Tar Heels. They'll keep it going in Chapel Hill. Murray State upsets Ole Miss last night.
Get out towards center field. Hogart underneath it. Murray State races into Super Regionals. for the first time in program history.
Go Racers.
Go Racers.
They'll take on, who's Murray State got this weekend? They got Duke. So maybe the most hated basketball university against the beloved Racers. Go Racers. Last SEC game, Tennessee defeats Wake Forest 11-5. A celebration took place near the mound out.
Head coach and his star lefty, Tony Vitello, just beelined it from right in front of the mound, and the Vols are moving on.
He tackled Liam Doyle / jumped on him in his arms.
It was romantic in a way.
In a way, you can say a lot about Tony Vitello, but one thing is for sure, his players do really enjoy him and like him,
and he loves his job, and he loves baseball.
And and we'll see if that plays a role in this weekend as they come into Baum-Walker Stadium. All right, that is your SEC update here on a Tuesday. Tomorrow night at Joe's Grill and Cantina, take advantage with the kiddos. You're going to get a delicious kids meal for just $5. There's a crayons coloring contest. Kiddos can win cool prizes and kids karaoke night. Let the star shine. Let your youngsters shine at Joe's every single Wednesday night. Come for the food. Stay for the fun. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. All right, we've got more to get to. Tommy's going to rejoin us from the New England area coming up. I want to ask him about the Boston Red Sox game. They played the Los Angeles Angels last night, how much fun that was. Fenway is one of those bucket list ballparks that you want to go to. Doesn't matter if you're a crazy baseball fan. You could be a Yankees fan, and you would still want to take in Fenway. Which he got to last night, so excited about that. A couple programming notes this week. Former Razorback and former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, it really could have timed up well if Wake Forest did advance, but Chris Lanzilli is going to join us. He was in the ballpark this past weekend. Just talk about his experience in the Fayetteville Regional and also this matchup with Tennessee. Chris is going to join us at 9:05 tomorrow. Happy 65th birthday to Scott Hastings. According to Denver Bill, is going to join Ruskin and Zach sometime this week. So you got two good interviews ahead on the Morning Rush and on Ruskin and Zach as well. And again, Tommy rejoins us momentarily. While he's not with us, I will do my best to knock out this Gaston's read. We always tell you about Gaston's White River Resort on the White River at 870-431-5202 is where you'll find Clint, Jacob, and their team. Always doing a fantastic job. My parents go every year, sometimes twice a year, to take in the nature. They don't even fish. They just go because they enjoy it so much. They have the fully equipped cabins with kitchens in a lot of them. Their restaurant's fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Cajun chicken blackened pasta, which is awesome. Really anything you're going to get at Gaston's White River Resort is going to be great. 870-431-5202 and online at Gaston's.com. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Aloy drives it towards left field, hit deep, to the wall, out of here.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com. Lavorne Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline to join the local conversation on ESPN Arkansas.
I wanted to talk to you. It's something I want to get off my chest.
877-377-6963.
No service, no bars. Okay, talk to me. Now there are two.
Very strong, very different opinions.
Serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
We'll be chatting with Tommy there coming up in just one bit. Had an experience in Fenway last night. Crossed that off the bucket list. That momentarily, along with a little CJ's Trivia Tuesday, plus some calls and texts to get to as well from William in Lafayette and Brent in Searcy. Hey, are you craving something sweet this morning, this week? I want to have something good this weekend. Andy's Frozen Custard is the place to stop. Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, other locations in Conway and in North Little Rock as well. Want to satisfy that sweet tooth? You can do so with Annie's Pick 6. You can stop in through the drive-thru. That Pick 6 is Mitch and Max, some of your favorite flavors with Andy's Frozen Custard. Again, swing by today, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the two locations in Conway, and don't forget JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you. Download the Andy's app from the App Store. Tommy, we were talking about Jack Caglione getting called up to the majors. Going to be suiting up for the Royals, it sounds like, tonight, taking on St. Louis. What did you take in last night at Fenway between Boston and the Angels?
Well, let me tie in the Royals to that because I went out to get a beer like the third inning and ran almost right into a kid that was, I say kid, he's 22, 23, had an Arkansas Razorback jersey on. I'm like,
oh,
Woo Pig, what's up with that? He turned around and said, Benintendi. He was the best stud we've ever had. That's where he played college. I said, I know, I'm from there. So there's your Kansas City tie-in with Benintendi. I saw probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 Benintendi jerseys last night. He's not even here. So pretty cool.
He played on that World Series team, right? If I remember, that was obviously where he's drafted, and I want to say he played left field for that team, if I remember that right. So I remember like Boston. You were talking about listening to Boston radio earlier. I mean, I'd occasionally find a clip or two with one of the big time Boston radio hosts at the Sports Hub or WEI that, man, they really liked him, and I know a lot of Boston fans are still sad that he's not a Red Sox.
Yeah, Sports Cathedral. I mean, of all the, if baseball was the Catholic Church, I don't know if it's the Vatican, but Fenway's up there as far as sports cathedrals. You think about all the maybe someday it's a summer topic. We're getting there, but of all the places you want to go, Fenway's amongst them. And man, you don't realize how shallow, how narrow that first base foul territory is till you're in the ballpark. It looks skinny on TV. It's really skinny in person. The Green Monster is probably not as big in person as it appears on TV. But I was treated to a game last night that saw the Angels score 6 in the first with a pair of home runs, or maybe 3 home runs. Mike Trout hit a home run, and it looked like Boston was doomed, and then fought back only to lose 7-6 in the very end. It was an exciting ball game, but Fenway's old, but it's well kept up. Neat district around it, so I would anyone that's been knows what I'm talking about. A lot of restaurants, a lot of the bars on the outside of the stadium that the Red Sox have taken over.
There's one in the stadium that you can watch the game from the bar itself. It's kind of unique. Yes, I mean, those are becoming more common, but you're right. But they check your ticket on the outer perimeter, so you scan to get you. So then you're in this kind of perimeter outside the actual Fenway. That there's plenty of food, plenty of drink, plenty of lobster rolls, plenty of everything to take in. So it was neat. Last night was Lou Gehrig night around all of Major League Baseball, so they honored him, and then had a nice celebration of survivor of those that have been around the Boston organization that have been touched by ALS and their families. So that was a neat way to start the game last night. So, but cool experience. Highly recommend when you come back and do it again, because it was a really neat sports venue, and one of the cathedrals in sports last night at Fenway. Just didn't get to see the Sox win. Now, I got the full experience because the fans sitting around me came in. They were cussing everybody. F this, F you, F that. I mean, even the guy that shags the balls down the baseline or down the foul line, he misplayed a ball. They got on him, so it didn't matter who you were. They had plenty of commentary for you. Classic. That sounds about right.
All right, classic Boston sports fans.
Let's talk to William, who's in Lafayette, who's phoned us in this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. William, good morning. How's Louisiana treating you this morning?
Oh, treating me good. Tommy Kraft, the best experience I ever had was sitting on the Green Monster and seeing Boston hit a home run over top of my head on the Lansdowne Street and just watching those people go crazy. The sausage and peppers that they're cooking up, the sausage and pepper hoagies or whatever they're cooking up there on the Monster is unbelievable. I'll never forget it. And I could have been there for hours. I only got to go once. It was a work comp trip, so, I mean, I was blessed, but I will never forget it. And I echo exactly what you're saying. Even if you're not a baseball fan, it's just so neat to go there.
Yeah.
Right?
The Fenway front, I've never seen anything like that where guys, they just give you a hot dog, a piece of sandwich bread, and that's their hot dog. Yeah. They do the Italian sausage like you're talking about, but the Fenway Frank's just there's no bun. It's just a piece of sandwich bread.
That doesn't sound. I used to do the hot dogs like that back in the day. Sorry, William. Go ahead.
I think this weekend, and Von Walker's going to rival anything Fenway's seen, boys. It's going to be something magical. I mean, it's like this morning on Chuck and Bo, like 7 o'clock. It was so fired up already, and it's a Tuesday morning. Think about what it's going to be like on Friday.
Yeah, we got
Tommy, get your butt back. Get back, because the Hogs is going to make history, and it's going to be something.
This is the.
I'll be back by game time.
I think it's just the third time that you've taken on an SEC team. I mean, 2018 was crazy when you beat South Carolina. 2019, the Ole Miss, and I know Ole Miss has got plenty of antics. The celebration after home runs. Colton, you were talking about the fur coat earlier, which AJ was texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying Tennessee will be using that fur coat to wipe their tears after this weekend.
Volunteers.
Hopefully that's the case. Brent's in Searcy this morning. Brent, what are you thinking about this weekend?
Man, I am so ready. I am fired up. I got one thing to say. I cannot believe that Tennessee has no class whatsoever. I cannot believe that Tony Vitello, a great baseball coach like he is, allows his players to defame the sport of the game of baseball the way they do. That is unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable. And I hope they pack a lunch because they're going to need it this week. And that pitcher, Boyle, he needs his head examined. He acted like he won the World Series last night. Come on. If you act like that in pro ball, the whole team's going to get thrown at it. Their head's going to get thrown at every time they step in the box. This is unacceptable behavior from a baseball team. And if I had to have a fur coat every time I hit a home run, I'd make sure I had a nice fur coat, not one that you got out of the dumpster at the Dollar General.
It's possum fur, Brent. Possum
and that's
fur.
all I have to say about that.
Brent, thank you. It wasn't, you bring up last night. That is a great point. For a team that is coming off a national championship, like they won 11-5. They didn't win in a walk-off fashion. They didn't win off a crazy play at the tail end, off a double play or something. The game was in hand. And I know Doyle came in and was like, Coach, I want to close this out. I'll give him props. Like that's the SEC pitcher of the year. You tuned him up earlier a few weeks ago, and he's going to be coming for blood this weekend. But you beat a team you were supposed to in your own regional. You're not going to Omaha. You got to come through this team, which, by the way, DVH, Tony Vitello going at each other again for your CJ's Butcher Boy Burger Trivia Tuesday, a $25 gift card to both the Fayetteville location and the Russellville location. You use an either location. What is Dave's record against Tony V? Now, I dropped this early in the show. If you've been listening the full 2 hours, you'll know that I said it earlier in the program. Since Dave Van Horn got to Knoxville, Tennessee, what is his record, or excuse me, Tony's record against DVH? 877-377-6963. It's pretty lopsided, as you can imagine, based on these games that you've watched in these last couple years. There's been 13 total. I'll give you a hint. 13 total between DVH and Tony. What is the record that Tony Vitello has going up against DVH? Tommy, you know this off the top of your head?
I do.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
it is pretty again, it's pretty staggering those two. Now, as I mentioned earlier,
I'm afraid. Does that make you worry he's due?
that's what I was talking about earlier in the show. Now, Tony's got the hardware. Like the mentee has the hardware. National champion winning head coach. That's the focus for me this weekend is you get to knock off the defending national champion in your own ballpark, and the opportunity starts Saturday at 4 o'clock, which, by the way, those times have been announced, the first 2 game times, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Saturday at 4 on ESPN, Sunday at 2, and then we'll see about if there's a game after that on Monday. That's your setup for this weekend. Who we got, Colton?
Brent called back, and he had an answer, he thinks.
Brent, what's the record?
10-2.
13 games. You're close. You're close. 13 games, y'all. Try it. Who we got next? Let's just rattle through them, Colton.
We got John.
John, what's the record?
We're going 9-4.
Nope. Next caller. We'll try again. DVH has got more wins.
I don't even know who this is.
Who is this? $25 gift card.
Wesley.
Wesley, what's the record of our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
2-11.
That is correct.
There you go.
Tony Vitello is 2-11. Wesley, hold on. We'll get your information off air, and you've got yourself a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. I was actually texting Keith about this matchup yesterday, the possibility or whatever. Big-time baseball fan, Keith Wilson. Tony Vitello is 2-11 against Dave Van Horn. Does the trend continue, or as Tommy said, does Tony do this weekend? We'll find out starting Saturday at 4 o'clock. Don't know who's going to be pitching that game one outside of probably Zach Root. I would be shocked if they went another way, especially since he'll have a week rest. But that's going to do it here for a Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. Appreciate CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, always giving us the best burgers, fries, and shakes around. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, coming up next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy